move might make your head blow off.
Hey, yo, it's a talk show host, Kana Lassiter. Join me for an episode of Relations, the most lit hour of adult conversation.
Hold up, you know you can't forget about me. It's 51 Spade, alpha male G-O-D, one half of Relations. You wanna hear the truth? Can you handle the truth? It's where it's at, baby. It's where it's at, baby.
Welcome to Relations. My name is Kana Lassiter.
It's alpha male God, G-O-D, 51 Spade. The ninja you love to hate.
Yeah, we got two exciting topics tonight. The first one is side piece snitching. I'm sure you guys know what that means. Side piece snitching. And is your ex off limits to your friends? Which one you want to tackle first?
Don't matter, ladies first.
You always say ladies first. Let's do this. You do the one you want to do tonight.
What you want me to say? Ladies first is always ladies first. So ladies first.
You find like the most aggravating time to be charming and chivalrous. Okay.
So ladies first.
So yeah, is your ex off limits to your friends? What do you think? Is all your exes off limits to any one of your guy friends that you've had over a lifetime?
You know what's crazy? This is gonna boil down. It's real broad, but for me, it's like simple. It's like, do people have morals and codes? And that's what it's always gonna boil down to me. Mm-hmm. A lot of times when I meet like my homeboys, or they like, this my baby mama, this is the person I'm gonna marry, this and that. A lot of times I don't know their name for a long time. I don't like making eye contact for a long time. It's just one of those things. I'm gonna go for me. I'm gonna say no, but every case is depending on that individual, because some people be calling this person a friend, and they really not a friend. This is like this is an acquaintance.
Right. I'm gonna go down that road, but I'm glad you saved it by saying it just depends, because I'm gonna take a more realistic route to life. It depends. It really doesn't depend on anything. I get where you say it depends on morals and all that, but I think the bigger picture is it worth it? And let me say why I would say that. You could have two guys who were friends in college, who played on the football team together. After they left college, they haven't written a letter to each other. They haven't shared a text. They barely see each other on social media. Basically, yeah, we're college friends, but now we're grown-ups. 20 years later, you know, he bumps into your ex-girlfriend in Publix and find out they live in the same neighborhood. They're both going through a divorce, blah, blah, blah. I think the two of them basically have to bring up the elephant in the room, which would be you. And then I think they would have to ask themselves the relationship or how they feel about each other. Is it worth burning the bridge with you? Sometimes the bridge is okay. I don't mind letting that friendship go, because you're going to evaluate the friendship. I think it depends on the friendship more than the morals and the characters of the individuals involved. It really bears on what type of friendship you have with that person. And I think people use that word way too lightly, and you shouldn't use it lightly because of shit like this. You call this girl your friend all through college. She barely likes a picture on social media. She hasn't been to your wedding or a funeral. But when you introduce her to other people, you said, this is my friend so-and-so. What qualifies this woman as a friend? And will you regret that later when you're shopping and you meet her ex-husband in the store and both of y'all are available? What does that friendship with her really mean to you over someone who has the potential to be your soulmate?
Mm-hmm. But you're giving the explanation of why it happened. So the question is it right or wrong? And when and hold on. That's the question, right? That's the question, right? And that boiled down to what you did immediately. Y'all sat down because y'all were trying to say, was it right or wrong? And if it wasn't a right or wrong scenario, you wouldn't be sitting down to figure out if it's right or wrong.
But that's not real life. I get that, but that's not life.
I'm just sticking to points.
That ain't life.
I'm just sticking to point. But I'm saying how people get around shit like that. Like, people make up excuses to get around the fact of whether you're saying it's right or wrong. So it's just sticking to the narrative. I'm not saying whether you should do it or not. I'm just saying, if we sticking to the narrative, I'm saying You sit down because in your mind you already know it's wrong. Because this is one of the things that either you're gonna say, A, I'll go ahead and let go of this friendship, or this shit is going to the grave with me. That's once you start making those.
Oh, so you still gonna do it? The question is, are you gonna keep it a secret?
No. I'm not.
Wow.
I'm not talking about. I'm answering your question. I'm saying when it boils down to right and wrong, the reason you're sitting down with that other person is because you're making up. Y'all are making up the decision.
You're justifying
now.
Or trying to justify why this should be okay.
But at the end of the day, you're saying like, is it all right to have sex with your friend's ex or build a relationship?
I can't say yes or no.
And when it boiled down to right or wrong, I'm saying you already know the factors are wrong because y'all already mapping it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? How
when
often
you
do
sit
you talk
down
to him? Well, I only talk to the nigga on Christmas, Thanksgiving. He don't like none of my pics. You know, I don't really like none of his. What about you? You know what I'm saying? Well, he like all of mine. You know what I'm saying? I talked to him 3 summers ago. It's like you trying to figure out, like, is this right or wrong? And that's why
Isn't that life, though? Any decision you make, every time you go to make a decision, it's like playing chess. You have to make the best decision for the best possible, or the best choice for the best possible outcome. So let's say you decide, like, I'm going back to my scenario. I'm in Publix. I meet this guy. Is it the best? Am I going to have the best outcome saying to him, you know what? I dated your friend back in college. So you know what? I don't think that's appropriate. And then never talk to either one of you again because I already said the relationship between me and this guy is severed. We don't talk. We hardly do anything. So am I making the best choice for me by honoring a friendship that really isn't? That doesn't make any sense to me. By marrying him, I gain love. I gain a financial support system. I'm going to give all that up because I dated you in college? That makes no sense to me in real life. It morally, character-wise, what you learn from your grandma and the code, just like you shouldn't snitch. Yeah, that's urban fucking legend. And is it really something that's possible to not ever fall in love or cross paths with someone you knew or was tied to in your past? It's almost impossible. It's too much of a small world. It's kind of like setting an unattainable goal or an expectation for a person. One of your exes is going to run across someone from your past.
Let me ask you a question.
Period.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, let's say, for instance, that this friend, they have a child. Does that make a difference?
I think kids would change things, absolutely.
Oh, shit.
Because you know why?
Things, all right.
But it is going to make sense, though. These are two people that probably talk on a regular basis. They have a child. They're in each other's life. I made sure to state that the friendship is not really what it is.
But why stop love? And why stop all these great feelings that you can have? Like, why stop all this stuff that could possibly happen? I'm just asking. Because that's what you just said a few minutes ago. Now I threw a child in the mix and shit changed.
Because the nature of the relationship changed. We went from friends that never communicate to parents.
I mean, the child changed because...
Yes, because we're co-parenting.
Guess what?
It's a different relationship.
Guess what? This could change too. You can pick someone else. Instead of that guy, it's a million motherfucking guys out here. You can choose someone else to be in love with, to do all this other extracurricular shit with. It don't have to be that person. That's what I'm saying. So when I'm boiling it down to right or wrong, what I'm saying is just look at the scenario, and for the most part, it's wrong. Like, I'm not gonna fuck with none of my homeboys' baby mamas. They off limits. Wives or any of that shit. They are
wives and baby mamas. I get it.
I'm sorry. Like,
we started this conversation off saying friend.
But he's my friend. So just because they broke up. You get what I'm saying? So just because he broke up with his baby mom and she's out here living her life, don't mean that I gotta break her back.
That's true. I wouldn't expect you to if that's his baby mama or wife.
Behind my homeboy,
not just his ex-girlfriend.
But what I'm saying is, like,
that's different.
But you're sitting
girlfriend, wife, baby mama. All those are 3 separate things. All to
I get that, but I'm just saying, out of moral respect, I'm just saying, like, they just off limits to me. Now, I'm not saying, people can do whatever they want to do. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm going about right or wrong, I'm just saying when y'all are sitting down discussing whether we should be together, this and that. I'm just saying, ask yourself one question. Like, it's a million men out here. Like, you don't got to be fucking with him. That way you don't got to be juggling and making these type of decisions on, you know, a pro and con list on whether I should fuck with this friend X. That's all I'm saying.
I really don't think I don't think that's realistic. I don't think that's that's healthy planning.
So you
you
fucked one of your friends' exes?
No.
You don't see nothing wrong with that? Oh, you look a little guilty too.
No, I'm not. Was it one of my friend's exes? No, it wasn't.
So it was someone she fucked with?
Yes.
So y'all fucked the same person?
We have.
Does she know it?
No.
But only y'all two know it.
Right.
So you taking it to the grave?
Yeah.
That ain't no friend. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Like, that's crazy to me. How you sit here right here with a straight face? Like,
it's a fact.
Like shit is cool.
This is the thing. I will not lie. I'm transparent. It would have been a lot more comfortable for me to be like, hell no. But I don't have to expose who the players in the game are.
I get that. But
I don't have to do that. But I am going to be transparent with the audience and say, yes, I've been there. But this is my thing. I was able to justify exactly how I told you two people would sit down and do. I did that with myself. And I was okay with it.
Most people justify bullshit when they do it. That's the very first thing that most people do. Like, oh, it's really not that bad. Or, you know what I'm saying? I don't see really the issue. The issue is this. The reason you didn't tell your friend is because you know you was on some bullshit. That's the reason you ain't.
No, it just ain't worth it. It's just not worth it.
It's not worth it.
It would be senseless to say anything.
You know why it's not worth it? Because y'all gonna get into a fight. That's what.
I don't think we'll get in a fight. I don't think we'll get in a fight at all. Actually, to be honest with you.
You think that?
I don't even think she would really give a fuck, to be honest with you. I just don't feel like giving it energy.
Then if you don't know how
it was so
you don't know how
to me.
petty people get when it come to dick, pussy, and all that type of shit. If you don't think that shit, you're crazy as hell.
If I was some type of threat, or if they even were, they were never in a relationship ever. So for me, if they were never in a relationship, and when I did it, they weren't nowhere near each other, were not messing around.
So let me stop.
I was in the clear.
So let me stop you then. So before y'all fucked, did y'all say anything about this person?
Right before we fucked? Yeah. No. We talked about her prior. Yeah, we did. If you meaning prior to.
Why? If she wasn't a factor?
Because I asked. That's
did you
me
still
being,
fuck with her? You asked him, did he still fuck with her?
Yeah, of course I did.
Why?
Because if he did still fuck with her and they still kept in contact or anything like that, I would feel like it would be wrong.
So because
you know what?
So because
I am not, first of all.
So because they not in contact.
Right, they're not talking. Last time I talked to her was back in 1997. I mean, if it's a situation like that, it doesn't matter.
Look here, man.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. It really doesn't. You can say, hey, she slept with her, she fucked a dude that her friend fucked. And that would sound really bad. And then they would say, the next, if there are intelligent people listening, people aren't going to be like, oh, that's fucked up. They're going to ask questions. It's called probing to see if there was really something that was inappropriate there. Are you and the girl still friends? Yes. Are him and her still friends? No. Are they still fucking around? No. When was the last time they fucked around? I don't know, 10 years ago? Well, damn. Were they even together? No. It's just too many factors that make this is null and void to me. It might be different for her. I'm not saying it wouldn't mean anything to her, but I would stand by that. Even in that conversation, I would say, listen, these are the facts, so I didn't feel like it was inappropriate.
But you just said she probably wouldn't give a fuck. But if
she might not. I don't know. I'm not psychic. I don't know what she'll do.
That's right. Because if she haul off and punch in your motherfucking knife,
she won't do that.
She would be like that for 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Since you thought it wasn't straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. And don't get me wrong. You can do. We in America, so you can do whatever you want to do. So I'm gonna go back again to just whether it's right or wrong. So I'm always gonna stay on topic to say, like, you know, is this situation right or wrong? And my thing is, anytime you start doing things where, to me, you can't say the same shit in the room in front of that person openly and honest, no matter what, then you was wrong.
Let me tell you something that I did before. There was this guy that I was friends with, and he was a great guy. He was cool. We fucked around one time. After that, we just didn't have any chemistry. It was like, we shouldn't have done it. Okay. Now, I continue to be around him because I can do that. I'm a mature person. We fucked one time. It did not change our friendship. We still remained friends. So now I'm around his other friends. So to put my cards on the table to make it clear that I was available because I wasn't sure what he was telling his friends, I was like, in a couple of years, to one of his friends, I said, in a couple of years, if you don't settle down and get married and I don't settle down and get married, me and you gonna hook up. And I said that in front of his friend that I had already been with to let everybody know there. I don't know what y'all think is going on between me and homeboy, but it ain't like that. I said that out in the open. That's me saying, okay, you can't go back and erase your past. But you also, if it's something that you regret or wish you wouldn't have done, you can't let that one fucking thing mess up your destiny. I'm in a room full of other men now. And if they have a feeling that me and this dude together, I might be missing out on my husband. And that nigga ain't worth it. He ain't worth it. I don't fuck with money. Me and homie don't got nothing going on. I made that very clear. Not like that. But I wanted everybody in the room to know that it's not like that. And that's okay. Now I gotta be around 20 motherfuckers just because I fucked him once and it was lousy. Now my husband can be in the room. I gotta go without this man for the rest of my life because I fucked this nigga one time? That makes no sense.
Can you ever stay on topic is what I'm trying to
It's the same thing.
Stop. No, it's not the same thing. I just asked you about a friend and now you're talking about some other shit.
But I'm just making an example of how that situation could be.
The wrong example.
But it's exactly the same topic.
It is not.
I'm just saying
topic.
A friend that I slept with, does it make his friends off limits to me now?
Yes.
Just because he's my friend and I fucked him one time?
If that's his best friend, yes.
Not best friend. Don't keep saying best friend. Well, that's not the question.
But the topic is supposed to be best friend.
But I read that and you didn't discuss. I didn't say best friend. I said is your
not a friend because when I first
best friend, of course. Well, no matter what, if that's your best buddy, that ends the whole debate. That's why we didn't pose the question like that. Yeah, if you're gonna say that's your best friend,
I said but I said best friend because the reason I said that is because people use the word friend too loosely. So I don't want to say friend. It's so broad that it's motherfuckers that I can't really say. I can say like when we out and about like we're friends, but what I'm saying is like there are people who are friends, best friends, whatever this and that. But even with that being said, like if they're friends, I don't want to you have to put the word best friend on it because these motherfuckers could be just friends, just in conversation, and they might not really mean anything to themselves.
Well, then why would it be best? Why would you put best? If you put, I'm just gonna say it like this: if you're gonna put the best friend, the debate is over because best friend means talk to this, we see each other all the time, we talk all the time. That changes everything. It changes the whole dynamic of the conversation.
I got best friends that I don't see all the time,
but it don't matter. You're still in his life. If you calling him your best friend, y'all are actively in each other's life. The whole question was based on people that you just call friends, and we've been. I have my timer on. We've been having this conversation for how long? And you're just now coming up with this best friend. I
said best friend when I first started. I said
I didn't know. I gave the title of the show, and I didn't say best friend. It's been almost 17 minutes.
I said so what?
Because I'm automatically agree. No, you should not fuck your best friend's ex-lover. That's your best friend. That's common sense. That's not even a debate topic.
Yeah, but people do it.
Okay, well, you wrong. Next. You want to go to the next topic? Because I don't have anything to say about that. You can't fuck your best friend's ex-man. That's dumb. What platform would I sit on and say that's cool? I've never fucked my best friend's ex-lover at all. And when you asked me that question, you didn't say best friend. You said you ain't never slept with your friend. You ain't never slept with the same person your friend slept with?
But your friend is your best friend.
No, she's not.
So y'all just friends.
You damn right. I ain't never called.
I'm gonna say y'all not friends because you kept it a secret.
Every friend I got is not called a best friend. Sorry.
I wouldn't even say y'all friends because if you keep it a secret,
we're definitely friends.
And y'all keep it secret.
You know what? That one thing doesn't outweigh. That one thing is on a list of 3,000 things that me and that girl mean to each other. That one thing don't mean shit to them 3,000 things.
But you'll never know because you didn't tell her.
Okay,
so guess what?
But again,
so is that fact or yes? That's yes or no? Is that fact or fiction?
As of now, I'm never gonna tell her because it's not worth it.
No, that's not what I asked you. I said you said 3,000 things to that one thing. If she find out the one thing, you'll find out then if it's 3,000
That's
things.
True, and you might be completely off. She might be like, I don't give a fuck.
But what I'm saying is, but you're vouching for that, and then you're willing to take it to the grave. Is what I'm saying.
First of all, she's every friend I have is not labeled a best friend,
and that's what I talked about.
And I can't speculate. I cannot speculate that if she knew that, what she would do in reference to our friendship. Now, if you're asking me, do I think our friendship is going to end? I don't think so. I wouldn't want it to end. I don't know what she would do.
Of course you don't, but that's my point. The reason why that is quiet is kept is because is friends. And the reason the reason why I was saying about friends, because people use that term loosely as far as friendship goes, or just respect of having friends and this and that. Like I got people, when I'm out and about, someone could easily be like, Spade, that's my homeboy. Then the other person that's next to him gonna say that they're friends. Okay. But to me, we're not friends. You get what I'm saying? So just because you say that's my homie and I know you, I understand that, and But
it's a null and void subject because you can't determine what someone feels for you. That person over there might say, Kana's my friend. I might not even think of them as a friend, but I don't have any control of what they feel for me. And that's another reason why it'd be dumb for me to make a declaration that I'll never fuck with my friend's ex-lover. Might not even feel the same way this person feels about me. Mm-hmm. That's point blank period. You don't know how important you really are to someone. So they calling you friend. I'm calling you associate.
So do you have a best friend?
Yes.
And how do you know that person knows that y'all best friend?
Because she calls me her best friend. We will say publicly when we introduce each other, we don't introduce each other as friends. I say, this is my best friend D. And she says the same thing about me.
So if you introduce someone as your best friend, well, guys don't.
People are gonna know. People are gonna know who my best friend is.
Guys don't do that.
And that's cool.
I got my homies and best friends, and I don't introduce them as that's my homie, my best friend. You know, so I don't know. But what I do know is this: there are certain things that I feel that you can, if you're discussing certain shit with an individual, with their ex, behind that person back, I just say it's wrong. Just really at the end of the day, whether you put best on it, this and that, it's still deceitful because that conversation is being held. Like, I'm not saying you can't have.
Who are you though? Who are you to this person? You're saying it's deceitful in a very general way. That you're saying that it doesn't matter what the nature of your relationship was, how long it was, what it meant, and how it ended. You just shouldn't go there, and that is not.
So give me a scenario.
You shouldn't be that way.
Give me a scenario.
I gave you one already. I'll give you another one. Okay, so you have a friend that you used to play video games with. Came over your house to y'all played video games between the ages of 10 and fucking 18. When y'all both went away off to college, you don't see each other until you come home for fucking holidays. You still play video games together? No, because you both have gone on and going about. But that was your video game friend. So now, several years later, you're grown-ass men, you meet up with the same girl that he was talking about when y'all played video games together. That was his little shorty. That was the girl he had a crush on. You meet up with her, y'all vibing, you gonna really not connect with this woman because you used to play video games with her high school boyfriend?
Well, first of all, that's a lame.
It's a scenario.
Yeah, but it's a lame example because you're talking about.
Oh my God,
You're talking about someone that he liked. You know, I said it's supposed to be an ex.
I said that was his little shorty. They went together, but they just went together in high school, and y'all grown ass men.
Does he have a baby from him?
No. Now see how you're starting to ask questions? That's the same thing I said when we first sat down.
About your scenario.
Of course, because those things matter. You're asking because it will change the your decision.
I'm asking you because if it's in my scenario, just like what I just said, I know some of these answers to it because this is my friend. So I know
he don't have a baby from him.
I know
there's no baby.
I know some of these answers. I'm asking you because I don't want to assume anything.
No, there's no babies.
I'm just asking the whole thing. They ever been married?
No. So
how long were they together?
Through high school, little bit of middle school, let's say 5 years.
They were together 5 years?
Yep.
No babies?
No babies, no marriage.
And all we did was play video games?
All y'all did was play video games together. But y'all played video games together till y'all was about 18 years old.
Yeah. So I don't consider nobody like that a friend of mine.
There you go. You don't consider. So you're making
I wouldn't think anybody would consider.
But you don't know. He might really consider you his friend. Man, that's the dude I used to play video games with. I ate at his house sometimes. The whole nine.
That's cool, and he can consider that all he want to. But I also can walk into that room and say that I'm fucking Shanika that you used to fuck with no problem. That's the difference.
And you still did it. So we can't say that it's not that it can't be done and that it's actually wrong because it just depends on the players and the relationships that we're talking about.
But I said that in the beginning though. I said every scenario is different because people have loosely used the word friendship and some people don't use morals or ethics. So just because I use morals don't mean that somebody else do. But I also don't expect other people to use morals because, for one, in a world now, I just don't believe that people live up to that anyway. They're not raised that way. Certain people are raised different ways. Some people believe that if the motherfucker's not married, it's open season. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's another one.
Like that's how some people think. Like, well, if the motherfucker is not. I've heard silly motherfuckers say this shit. Well, if they're not married, then it's open season. But then they fuck married people too. So you don't have no moral code. It's just like it's all out war. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And some people mind is just like that. Like everybody can have those type of codes. Some people are winners because they know how to step on people. Some people are losers because they don't know how to. You understand what I'm saying? Because they're saying the right way is the right way. I'm not judging nobody based on what they're doing. If you ask in my opinion, and when I say to my friends' exes are just off limits. No matter, I don't give a fuck what's going on.
Okay, but I gave you a scenario in which you had to make clear, okay, I wouldn't consider him a friend. So you can't take away from anybody else who the other person might say that's my friend, and he might say no, it isn't. That's an associate.
Just like you, how you know who your best friends are, I know who mine are, and I know who girls are off limits, and
you know whose girls aren't.
That's right, and that's just the end of the scenario. It ain't got to be nothing of the sort, this and that. I don't give a fuck what that motherfucker considered. Like, if you ain't been to my house, like, there was certain things that you painted in that shit, which I would say that is not a friend of mine.
Right.
So if that motherfucker ain't been to my house and from the time that we've left and he don't even know what I've done, that's not a friend.
Okay, and when I sat down and gave you the scenario of me and the person sitting down and saying, hey, when do you talk to this person? Do you talk to this person? You jump down my throat saying, oh, but the fact that y'all got to sit down and ask those questions is wrong.
I was saying
but we did the same thing you just did.
No.
Yes.
I was saying, no.
Yes.
I asked you the question. You're not listening. You're trying to deflect. I asked you the question behind that based on y'all being best friends. And I said, so if you're doing that, because that's the angle that I had always been coming from. I said, so if that's your best friend and y'all discussing that, and this is his ex, or you say, well, they're not ex, it's just someone he used to fuck. Well, if that's your best friend, then why are y'all discussing it?
I never said best friend. That's number one.
I know you said that. We discussed that afterward.
Right.
But I said that's the angle I was coming from. That's why I asked questions.
So you were under the impression that I was coming from the best friend angle.
Well, damn, Humpty Dumpty. That's what I said.
Okay, well, I didn't get it.
I know you didn't.
I missed that completely. So we're gonna move into the second topic because I think we're clear on this topic. It just depends on the situation and the individual players and who values the friendship as what. On a whole platform, you can never say it ain't cool to smash your friend's ex because you don't know the situation. You don't know whether these people have never seen each other. Like I just gave you the scenario since high school. You don't know the nature of the relationship or whatever. I'm just making it clear that I won that debate because we were clearly at clear odds in the beginning.
You didn't win no debate.
We were clearly on odds, and now you jumped on my train.
You clearly was on a different planet because you thought we was talking about something else. So you didn't win nothing because you was in La La Land.
No, I wasn't in La La Land.
Go to the next thing.
You were
because you didn't know where we were talking about.
The next topic is side chick snitching or side dude snitching. And I don't know, I'm sure everybody knows what that means, but just in case you don't, we'll break it down. You're in a relationship, a situationship, that ain't your man, y'all smashing, y'all call it quits, you contact his new girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend, whatever, his friends, his family, basically, you are communicating and hating on that side because y'all are no longer together. Telling that, hey, whatever that y'all would determine or what your situation would be when you're thinking about side chick snitching or your side dude snitching. Basically telling on you. I got in trouble with this subject on when we kind of did something similar to this. And it wasn't really side chick snitching. It was just the ex-girlfriend reaching out to the current girlfriend, hating on the dude. So it's kind of the same thing, but we're changing the narrative by saying these are your side pieces, and when it ends, you basically want to bust the other guy because it blew up. So I'm gonna let you start off with this one because you want me to start off.
Go ahead.
I like I said, I mean, I think it's fucked up. Since I'm being transparent tonight, I will say I have been the other woman. It had never occurred to me to ever send her an email, a text, tell any of her friends, leak information. It never occurred to me to blow up his relationship because ours ended. So I can't really relate. I know it infuriates me when it happens, because if you are in a side chick position, in most cases, you know you the side chick. What I mean is his old lady ain't no secret. You agreed to lay down with him. Everything was good and he was fucking you to sleep. It was all good. And then when things go wrong, now you want to blow his home up, and I don't think that's cool. I don't agree with being a side chick to begin with, but since we've all been there and gone through that, it is what it is. I never think you should threaten someone's home over a failed situation that in your control, because his situation is not your situation.
So what suggestions do you give to your friends
who are side chicks?
Who
are girlfriends?
Just in the scenario of what advice do you stand? Like if your homegirl said, I contacted this female because this is who I saw he was talking to, what advice do you give him? Or do you just stand by, Jack?
I usually stand by. Let me tell you why I usually stand by.
So hold on, before you go. If you don't, and also keep in mind, if you don't believe of it, if you don't believe in it, why you just don't say that to that person?
Because my stance now is I'm in a mature state of mind. She's not on the phone crying. She's not upset. She hasn't sent me the text with these messages between the two people. You have to understand, when you're in the moment, you react in the moment. And sometimes when your best friend is hurt, you're hurt. And you could encourage and then later feel like, you know what? That probably wasn't a great thing to do based on the outcome. Now, if the outcome is she got her ass toe up, you definitely going to be like, damn, I should have saved her. But if they started talking and everything was cordial after she did it, it was like, it worked out. So, I mean, I don't think any of those things are in a friend's control. And I think there's a time and a place to be preaching to your friend and talking them off a ledge. I mean, it just depends on what the situation is. I will not particularly talk a friend off that ledge unless it's very clear that she's making a mistake. In the moment that my friend did it, I did not discourage or encourage her. I kind of played the neutral ground.
So was that because she was a friend and not a best friend, or just she was just a friend?
I don't think that had anything to do with it. The value of our relationship didn't come into play. I just felt emotional like she did. And I felt like whatever would make her feel better is what I should be standing by.
So if she's in the wrong, then you're going to stand by that?
I mean, she wasn't talking about blowing up someone's car. You understand what I'm saying? It just depends on, I'm pick my battles. I'm not trying to talk her off or jumping off a bridge. You know what I'm saying? Like, she ain't telling me she about to jump, and I'm like, okay, well, whatever make you feel better. She's saying, look, I'm thinking about messaging this girl and just warning her because he's a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? How do you, you know what I mean? You could crusade for no girl, she ain't worth it. You could crusade for that ain't your place. But it just turns into a whole bunch of what you think and less about what your friend is going through. So that's why I say pick your battles and choose which things to be neutral on. And that one I just felt like being neutral on. It had nothing to do with the value of our friendship.
So you approve of dry snitching? I just want to be clear. You approve of dry snitching? Or no? That's what this is about. Topics.
You know what?
A simple yes or no will suffice.
I guess I'm going to say the same thing I said in the last topic. It just depends on the scenario. What do you want me to do?
Have some moral and codes. That's what I want you to do. Listen, man. Dry snitching is all the way fucked up all the way around the board. There is no fucking depends. It doesn't matter. This and that. Do people do it? Yes. But is it right? No. Dry snitching, to me, all across the board is all fucked up. No. You know what I'm saying? Whether you writing a book, a tell-all book, whether it's just your fucking friend wanting to message a bitch from Instagram, man, you want to blow up the spot. Your ass is angry and upset, and your ass is bitter, and it's called misery love company. The reason you ain't tell that motherfucker is because she wants you to be miserable as her, and y'all both can shit on this motherfucker parade. If you'd have saw the signs or just listen to your inner self, but no, it's that little bit of crazy. It's that little bit of crazy that's just like, you know what? This motherfucker dumped me, so I'm blowing up everything. I'm going through whoever liked his pictures. If I see a conversation going down, I'm contacting her. He wasn't shit when he was fucking you, so all of a sudden he ain't shit. That's what tripped me out about females. It's like when shit break up, all of a sudden they got some new method or path that they go on. You know what I'm saying? You broke up. That's why I ain't never liked your little dick. Well, my little dick was fucking you when we were together. Now all of a sudden I'm little. You understand what I'm saying? It's like y'all change formats when y'all move into different shit for some reason. Listen, dry snitching is not acceptable on anything. I hate them tell-all books. It's like, I'm paying for your life. Let's just go to an athlete, for example. I'm paying for your life. I'm giving you 10 grand a month. You understand what I'm saying? Or whatever it is that they pay. And you the side bitch. You know I got a wife. When I decide to cut the check or cut that motherfucker off, our obligations are complete. Your obligations are complete. You get what I'm saying? I didn't treat you like shit all the way through the shit. I just didn't want to continue seeing you. And for you, what comes out of that? Sometimes really nothing comes out of it. You might upset the girlfriend, this and that. You might give them a stronger bond at the end of the day. Now I can cheat openly, you know, if I choose to, or whatever the case may be. But I don't really see the point of that shit. Like, you know, you upset, go to counseling. You need someone to talk to, like, do that type of shit. But informing some other woman that this dude is a piece of shit is bullshit. Different women make men be different people. I probably ain't feel like being a 100% gentleman or a real man with you. But this woman, I feel like. So who the fuck are you to fucking contact her telling her some shit about what I did to you? She ain't you. Period. That's how it go.
That's true, and I agree with that. What I'm saying is if I'm talking about being a true friend and being transparent to our audience, in that moment, I might not be in my mature. That's a very mature thing to say, and I agree. But I'm not being mature when my friend is on the other line with a broken heart and he did this, and I'm seeing everything that he did. In that moment, I'm thinking about how to blow up his spot. I just can't do it because he didn't hurt me directly. He hurt her. But if that's your friend, you hurt too.
That's what I'm saying, but why? That's what I'm saying, like misery love company. Why? That's what I'm saying, just use some of the self things. Like, even when my homeboys fuck up, you know what I'm saying? I don't be like, man, just walking that motherfucker like nothing happened. Like, I'm like, nigga, I told you this shit was gonna go down like this. He don't want to hear that shit at that point in time, but I still gotta let his ass know that I told you this shit was gonna blow up in your face. Why did you do it? You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's how I get down. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to tell that nigga some shit like, you know what I'm saying? Man, what you think she did to my house? She fucked that house up right now. She's tearing everything in that motherfucker down. Trust that. Get home now and savage what you can. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can. I'm not trying to be calm in some shit that he talking about. That's bullshit. I already know what the lick read. He know what the lick read. You think everything intact? I'm quite sure the Xbox has met the pool. That's just all I'm saying. If she, I mean, and everybody different. Some females know not to touch it. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not finna give them this smooth thing, like, yeah, everything's gonna be okay. You just cheated, bro. Like, what's one pussy? You know what I'm saying? Another extra one? You know, it's like, hey, that's not gonna happen. It's like, that's just one of those things. So while she's talking about doing those type of things, I'm like, hey, talk ass off the ledge, because I think that shit is whack, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that person ain't really got nothing to do with what y'all was going on. I think, like, women have when they don't want to let go of something, it just becomes a situation of just revenge. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what category that shit fall into. It just falls into revenge. You ran out of the athletes that's gonna pay you your money. You done fucked up all that shit and burnt all them bridges. I ain't got no money. I'm telling.
Write the book.
You know what I'm saying?
But but the thing, this is the thing though. When you are in a position, smart guy, lots of money, when you put a side chick on your team, that's just one of the consequences your ass might have to deal with. You have now empowered her with your life or things about your life that maybe you didn't want to come out. Sorry. Free will. And she has it. She can talk about any piece of dick she sat on because you gave it to her. She know where your mole at, where your birthmark at, all your motherfucking tattoos, what you really like. You put her in a position of power. So if she want to write a tell-all book, ultimately, that's your motherfucking bad. Because if she wouldn't have been on your team, she wouldn't have known where your motherfucking birthmark was and been able to prove what size your dick is. That's your fucking problem. That's your bad. And when you do shit to hurt people and you put it out there and then you move on like it ain't nothing and you do shady shit, those are some of the consequences. That shit comes out. It would be a perfect world if everybody was really mature and said it doesn't matter. He hurt me, I'll just move on now. It's not like that. We all see red at some point and we all want our get back. And side chick snitching is one of them. So I would say to men who have those issues, stop doing that. Stop pillow talking, lower the side chicks, start being honest, polyamorous men, get into relationships where you can do what the fuck you want to do instead of having to be that guy who gets snitched on. How about that?
How about this? Y'all listen to her ass if y'all want to and y'all gonna end up in some holes. Y'all, there's holes in the desert that we know where to put the motherfucking bodies. One thing I'm gonna tell you right now is bitches know who they can do that shit to and they know who they can't do that to. That's the same reason why motherfuckers in witness protection. You can't do what you want to do. Who the fuck do you think you talking to, man? It's consequences for everything. And you snitch on the wrong person and they gonna put your ass down. That's the reality of it.
That's really funny that a person would risk their entire life to go to prison. Isn't this ironic?
They would
risk your entire life to put a bitch in the grave, but doesn't think of that risk before you fuck.
Superhead got put in a trash can. That's a hole. She got caught somewhere after a book signing. Someone picked up and threw in the motherfucker. That's just how it goes sometimes. You wrote that book. It's consequences to that shit. That's all I'm saying. It's all different types of holes. Next.
I'm just saying, the person that even hired a person to do that is going through great lengths.
Listen.
Because of that. He's willing to take that risk in doing that. But he didn't think about the risk he was taking by laying down with her in the first place.
Nobody thinks about risk. It's like this.
That's the most idiotic thing I've ever heard. How do people not think about risk?
Because we are human. And I mean, I hate to say it, but people don't think about risk. The reason people, just like I said, the reason why people are in witness protection program is because when you are living an illegal lifestyle, all you see is money. All you see is the women. All you see is the car. All you see is the house. But when they come get your ass, the DEA and the rest of the motherfuckers, they gonna explain to you some other shit that you wasn't thinking about at that point in time.
They thought about it. It's just that the reward was greater than the risk at the time.
And sometimes it be that. But that wasn't what you asked. You said, why do people not think about it? And that's all I'm saying. Make a motherfucker think. Put on that thinking cap sometimes. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Your friend about to jump out the ledge and tell some shit about this motherfucker that is not accurate. What do
you mean not accurate?
Because it could just be that he just wanted to do that to this person, or this person might not be. I don't know what they was arguing over, but everybody is not.
He was being a hoe.
Everybody is not in the same boat. So because he been a hoe,
he was fucking them at the same time.
So because
that's some information. That's some good information to pass on to a person.
So once you a hoe, you always a hoe. You can't change. Let him know. Once you a hoe, you can never change.
You can change, but it's not. It takes more than a day.
You know,
it takes more than a day.
Well, I'm quite.
He was fucking them at the same time.
Who you think? Hold on. Who do you think you're talking about? It takes a day. I'm quite sure.
It takes more than a day.
That's right. It takes more than a day, and I'm quite sure by the time your friend gathered information, thought about it, called you, talked you, weeks done passed, probably a fucking going into a month, and she's still on the same bullshit because you haven't talked the idiot off the ledge. She's still over there trying to be, because she's in miserable land. She want everybody in miserable land. That's just the fact of the reality of what it is. Move the fuck on. It's just like that. Move on, man. We ain't got time for people to be bitter and having revenge and all that. That's all I'm saying. It's you're seeing red, but you're not thinking sensibly. I get it. I understand. But that I'm not saying that just don't make it right. So all I'm saying is while shit was going down, just say, hey, you know what? Have you looked at yourself lately? Maybe you're just not his type. Maybe he just had something he wanted and used you for it. But this other person might not have something she can use. They just might be on level playing fields. But for you to call this other person or inbox a person, a stranger on top of that, someone that you don't even motherfucking know, like, bitch, you're not even friends. You just like, you're stalking the motherfucking bitch on Facebook, Instagram, this and that, and let me reach out. Does this sound like anything a sane person should be doing?
I couldn't say that it was completely insane if I knew there was another woman that we were sharing a cock. We got to have a conversation. For a lot of damn reasons. If I found a cock, if we're sharing a penis, a dick, if you and I have been having sex with the same guy, I don't think it's out of question that we contact each other. Sorry. It sounds good, and I'm a homeboy's girl, meaning I have more guy friends than women friends. So they've been through this, and I was pissed when their side chick reached out and blew up their households. Mad. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with most of the men on that subject. But I cannot sit here and say, as a woman, that if I ran across another woman that was fucking my dick, that I wouldn't want to have a conversation with her. Sorry.
So let me,
sorry and not sorry.
Let me ask you a question. Okay. So your friend and the other guy, or this guy, they were going together.
Yes.
Okay. And then he was going with the other girl.
He started messing with the other girl, yes.
Okay.
While they were together.
Okay. So she's mad that he was fucking someone else.
She's mad at a lot of shit. That's one of the things, yeah. Of course.
Okay. So they never broke up. They just was together.
They broke up a couple of times, but they still had an ongoing, they was having sex, and that's enough for me.
Okay. So they don't go together.
They don't go together now.
Okay, then it don't fucking matter. The rest of that shit is non and void. If I don't go with you, I can fuck whoever the fuck I want to fuck. Like this, I don't know where y'all women get this shit from. That is not her dick. Period. That's all I was trying to point out. It's not her dick. You know what I'm saying? Once you break up with the motherfucker, guess what? Open community. It's all the motherfucking go. Just because just like how you just said. How you gonna tell somebody else how to feel about friendship? Well, how you gonna tell me what to do with my dick when my dick don't belong to you? That's just how the fuck it go. I don't go with your motherfucking ass. I can sling this dick all how I want to. Goddamn.
But you should have that approach while we're actively fucking around.
So you never told
you have that attitude because we're apart.
So you never told her that
not that he was fucking or actively fucking other people. No, that really burns my biscuits because a lot of dudes I hate you right now because men will say that fuck shit at the end of a relationship when shit get bad. This ain't your dick and I can fuck whoever I want to fuck. We weren't together, but you wasn't saying that shit before you laid down with me. In fact, you said all the opposite shit, so I would lay down with you.
I gotta bring your friend on this show because I don't think you have all the facts. I've just seen something is starting to seem a little etchy.
I'm so aggravated right now.
I'm not quite sure you have all of them, or maybe I might fly him in because you know a lot of times when I ask guys, I'll be like, did you tell them or did they find out something? See, the thing about women is, they hear what they want to hear. See,
no, that's not true. Y'all choose when y'all want to be Mr. Transparent. I'm keeping it G with you. Y'all choose when y'all want that to be on Front Street. I'm not saying it goes away, but it's not.
At no point in time, hold on. But you're telling me at no point in time, like this. I'm gonna tell you my issue. So just to break this completely down, my issue with it is this: you're saying to me, at no point in time that this dude and this woman didn't have some discrepancy on their sexual life of how it's going, and I'm quite sure it was. See, people interpret like just because I'm fucking you, like we go together, like it's just me and you. And then when they find out shit, and if you haven't heard this, I'm not saying you have. Some people say, you know what? We never discussed if we were exclusive. We never said if it's just a me on me, a me on you type of thing. And one of those things that happen is those type of scenarios, which you're talking about right now. And that's why I said, like, I feel like you miss leaving some things out. Because when those type of conversations go down, it go from, you know what, we didn't talk about this and that. But the shit that you finna tell this bitch that you about to dry snitch to, is you finna tell all the bad. You're gonna leave out these important points on what he said to you. You're gonna say what he did to you. But you're gonna start leaving out what led up to that point. Because you just wanted to hear those things. And that's what I'm saying about that. It's like, if I said, we didn't talk about being exclusive. I never said you was my girlfriend. I never introduced you to my kids.
And that may very well be. I don't want to come off that, and that's cool. I'm gonna ride with that. But that's never the discussion when we're on. We're never on that when we're heading off to vacation, or when we're planning my birthday, or when you need a new pair of shoes. You make those things clear when you find yourself in a conundrum. Oh, I never said this and I never said that. So what I'm saying is, that guy may still be there. That guy who is non-committal and who always made it clear that, hey, we're not in a relationship. But you put that guy in the back seat of the whip when you with her. And when you in the front seat of that whip, the guy who she's attracted to is present. The guy who she wants to fuck is present. The dick that she want to suck is attached to the guy that is charming. Period. It's not the guy that's like, I want to remind you before we get to this hotel room that I'm fucking other bitches. That's not what you're doing. But that's how you come off when shit going wrong. That's exactly how you come off. Like you Godzilla the whole thing. Like you made it clear the whole fucking time that you was pimping me. And that's usually not the fucking case. That's not the person that I hung out with.
Some pimping was going down too?
You know what I'm trying to say.
P-I-M-P? Oh no. Say it ain't so. I need to, hey, tell your friend she needs to write a book. Cause this shit sound interesting. It sounds like something I might flip.
What is wrong with you? Something is wrong. Something is wrong.
I mean, you talking about pimping and all that.
I'm just saying that's what it ultimately is.
I ain't know it was going that deep.
My point is, he's treating her. You are putting forth the person in front whom she wants to do things for, who she wants to love and spend her time with. And this monster, this transparent, honest guy, he comes out when his shit is in question, when he's in trouble. Because if you made it clear like that all the time, we would do a lot fucking less with capital letters. A lot fucking less.
I just want to make a statement. You just listen to this, you know what I'm saying? Take it how you want to. It's funny to me how some people just always be like, this is the person that I met. He was charming and he swept me off my feet and oops, there go my panties. You know, he just did all this type of shit and I had no idea this and that. I have kids. And anytime my kids walk in the room and they say, hi, Dad, how you doing today? You know what I say to them? What do you want? Anytime I see somebody acting nice, being extra friendly, any of the above, I'm like, what do you want? I'm trying to figure out how women can't figure this shit out, but I can figure this out from 5 and 2 years olds. What do you want? Because normally, when they want something, it comes with some happy shit attached to it. All the time. But for some reason, a woman be like, this guy was just the nicest thing, and he was treating me so good, and I don't understand what happened. What you need to say is, what do you want? It's just simple.
We should do a show on that.
I will.
That is going to be a topic.
Because when you say stuff like that, it just, I heard what you said, and I get it. I'm not saying that guys don't do it, you know what I'm saying? But shit. A couple of episodes back, you said, well, you can't be a dick and get some pussy. So, right. And I said to you is, if you want that honest answer, just let him be a dick. But that's not what you want. So, in return, what happens is, you're going to get that guy. That one that's going to be nice. I ain't never met a motherfucker being mean and got some shit. That would be nice. But I ain't never met that nigga. You know what I'm saying? But the nigga I met a couple that could smooth talk women right out of shit. And they don't really be understanding. But my thing to you is, I'm really being serious. when my kids come in with that type of attitude, I know something up. I'm just trying to figure out how a woman can't understand that. Not too long ago, Dave Chappelle, I watched this Dave Chappelle special, and he was like, women walk around with $1 million. They don't understand that they're walking around with $1 million, but that $1 million is your pussy that you walk around with every day, that someone is trying to take every day. At a gas station, they're trying to take it. At Winn-Dixie, they're trying to take it. At school, they're trying to take it. There's always trying to get took. Every day. But y'all walk around this motherfucker like motherfuckers is just nice. For no apparent reason. They just want to know what book you read. They just want to know what show you watch. Because I need to know this shit so bad. This is not what's going on. So when I hear someone say, I've been bamboozled, I call it lie. Listen, you know when someone is trying to get some pussy. You know when someone is trying to take you for money. You know when someone is trying to do the shit. Whether you choose to ignore that shit, I get it. I understand. All I'm saying is coming out on the back end, don't play victim like it's just like this person is just the worst motherfucker you met. He wasn't the worst motherfucker that you met when you was fucking him. He wasn't the worst motherfucker that you met when you was dating him. He wasn't the worst motherfucker when y'all broke up and then y'all decided that y'all gonna talk and we gonna see if we could work things out and then shit just ain't work out. And now you wanna go blow up the spot of the next bitch because she ain't you. That's all I'm saying.
Well, since you're done now, I'm just saying.
I can tell when someone ain't got nothing to say.
No, that's not true. No, that's not true. That is absolutely not true.
Roll out.
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. But what I'm saying is y'all take a really big stance on being this big, transparent guy at the end of a courtship instead of being that guy the entire time. That's why your shit get blown up because people are in disbelief.
But what I'm saying is
a person that looks at
spot. Hold on. All I'm saying is
because
I go
it's
to the blow up spot.
Unbelievable. You ever seen the movie Deceived with Goldie Hawn? No. It is unbelievable to imagine that the person that you were married to, had kids with, was chivalrous and charming. It's unbelievable to think he has a family identical to yours right down the damn street, somewhere else. You gonna go see that. You gonna go check on that. It's the same thing. If you are in bliss and then all of a sudden you uncover texts between this woman and this man and you've been with this person for 5 years and this is during the 5 years y'all been together, there's nothing in you that's telling you not to reach out. Nothing. Because I'm a sensible, mature person and just thinking about it is making me want to reach out to a person that ain't even real. Because if this was my life and I was really scrolling through some shit that my man been doing for the last 6 years of our relationship, I'm talking to her. Period.
So what happens after you talk to her? You feel better?
No, I might feel worse, but at least I'll know. I might feel like shit.
If this ain't insanity at its finest, like, I don't know what's happening right now. I thought she was going to give some clarity. She was like, no, I feel worse.
No, I could probably feel worse.
You know what? They need to put your ass in the straight jacket.
No, but it's better than walking away. Why wouldn't you? You know what? And this is weird because, like I said, I have homeboys as friends, but I'm putting myself in the fire right now. It's happening to me, and something has been going on at the same time as my relationship. There is nothing in me right now, even though it's not even happening to me right now, that is saying, Kana, you should not reach out to that person. You should not want to talk to that woman. You should not have questions for her. That sounds ludicrous to me, and I'm a sensible person. I'm not crazy.
But what questions are you finna have? Y'all don't go together no more.
But we just broke up yesterday. If you're acting like there's years apart.
We shrinking days.
Yeah, we have to for it to make sense. You wouldn't be reaching out to some guy you broke up with 2 years ago. That makes sense to the situation. Come on, you have to consider time for it to be real.
I get that, but you're not gonna reach out to the girl the next day. So what I'm saying is, by the time you cry and you say, "Well, it was me," and then you in the tub, and then you playing Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I swear, you know what?
And then you like, let me open up my computer. Then you click on his page. Then you click on his likes. And then you see this girl. Then you look for messages. Like, this shit take time now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying by the time you do all this shit, time is going by. And y'all don't go together. I'm trying to figure out what questions do you have?
Are you serious?
After this thorough investigation, everything should be answered. I'm just trying to figure out what questions do you have? I'll listen.
What questions do you guys have? After looking at this episode, make sure you leave a comment, like, and subscribe.
So guess what? Before you end, I won this debate. So remember you said that. So, go ahead. Have it.
You can find me at Kana Lassiter on Twitter, at Kana Lassiter on IG, and Kana Lassiter on Facebook.
Boy, you already know what it is. You can reach me on both platforms. 51 Spade on Twitter, IG. Leave me your comments. Hey, go to the channel, subscribe. Everybody has been asking where to follow us at. If you, on the day, we come out at Friday, 7 p.m. On that day, click the link in